basically is a guideline, but the nitty-gritties, I think, have to be addressed at the level of the producer. I say this because if you look at the code of conduct for UTZ, it addresses the sustainability of the value chain in 3 aspects. We have got the economic pillar. You have to do something for economic gain, isn't it? So if there is no economic gain, then you'd rather do away with it. So in relation to gender, if you look at our households, if the lady is not making any benefit out of the coffee or the cocoa chain, then there is no need of being in that business. So how do we address the issue at the household level? You'll find the UTZ Certified Code of Conduct at that pillar, economic pillar, tries to address the issue of transparency in sharing the income among the value chain actors. The other aspect on sustainability of the value chains that UTZ looks at is the social aspect. And you'll find that there are so many issues that you can talk about in terms of the social aspect. And what the Code of Conduct has done, the UTZ Code of Conduct has done, is it has tried to just look at the overall, in a broad way, social aspects with regard to the ILO conventions. They also look at the local laws, especially with the nations that have subscribed to the ILO conventions. Then the question is, because we may not be able to address all these issues in our code of conduct, how do we address the specifics depending on the communities where the commodities are coming from? Then we also look at the environmental issue. It also has a certain bearing with the gender, if you look at it in detail. Maybe we may not be able to go through all this because of time. But already at UTZ, you find there is a big commitment to addressing gender issues in the value chains that it is working with. And to prove this, maybe already, as you saw from the marketplace when we started the workshop, you already saw there are various case studies that have already been carried out by UTZ in collaboration with its strategic partner, Solidaridad, also with support from Oxfam Novib. We have done studies in the tea value chain, in the cocoa value chain, and also in the coffee value chain. And what the outcomes show from these studies is that there is more need to put more effort and emphasis on involving women in the value chains, because it's kind of they already form the pillar for the volumes that the market need on the other side, and also the quality. Maybe there is already, this is another commitment from UTZ. Already UTZ Certified has a position paper on gender in the value chains it is working with. And it's a long one, but because of time I can only read the conclusion. But also this is another commitment that the standard is looking at the gender issues. And the conclusion reads like this. In order to effectively implement and promote sustainable production practices, it is very important to take into account underlying social structures and gender roles. Certification alone, as a form of outside incentive, is not sufficient to make a long-term change. Right? Training and awareness raising are necessary as a parallel process. Through its certification program, the requirements in its code of conduct and its cooperation with other organizations such as Solidaridad, UTZ Certified aims to contribute to gender equity. Maybe that's a conclusion, but the paper has a lot, because also from the indicators that came out from the studies, UTZ has got a monitoring and evaluation system, an electronic one, that they use in trying to monitor the processes and the progress of UTZ Certified. And what they found is there was a gap in this monitoring and evaluation system, which they are now addressing from the results of the studies. They want to include more indicators in the system that will be able to tell or show how gender equity how gender equity issues are being handled along the value chains. Maybe with those few remarks, I beg to sit down.